Hey guys, what up? So, I want to talk about my next app idea. I haven't finished my current app. I haven't even launched it yet. That's Burn the Boats. We'll check out the last few videos for more on that. But I'm always thinking of new ideas, and since I like to launch at a rate of one every 1 to 2 weeks, well, I keep the cycle going. So I'm talking about my next idea. Now, who is Matsuo Basho? Well, he was a Japanese guy, didn't live to be very old, as you can see, and he was a poet. He wrote a specific kind of poem called a haiku. Now, what's a haiku? You almost certainly know what a haiku is, but if you don't, it's one of these that you see in front of you. It's the first line is 5 syllables, followed by a 7 syllable line, and then another 5 syllable line. You might be asking, Old Pond, that's 2 syllables, and the rest of the lines are messed up as well. What gives? Well, Matsuo was Japanese, and these are translations. So there you go. And I don't actually think the old school haiku were so strict on that, but modern haiku are 575. At least they're supposed to be. So, what do haiku have to do with apps? You might ask. Valid question. I want to help people discover haiku in content that they've already created to help, just have a fun way for them to express themselves, just have a little laugh, and also discover haiku in their friends' content. What content specifically? Well, Twitter. So discovering accidental, inadvertent haiku that you've typed out in Twitter in your various tweets. So if you're big on Twitter, you might have tens of thousands of tweets. You're going to have tons of haiku in there. Some of them are going to be really funny and really profound. By the way, kind of the point of the haiku is to kind of put you in the moment. You can see these two examples here paint a very clear picture, and they give you kind of that Zen feeling. So it's kind of funny to see that you've actually written some haiku of your own, and sometimes they actually accomplish the same thing, but in a funnier way and specific to you. So we'll see if that idea flies. Now, there already is a dude on Twitter who's got a bot. He programmed a bot to search Twitter and look for, accidental haiku is his handle here. And he's got, he just finds random accounts and whatnot. And some of them are, kind of funny. But it's not so relevant because you can't really plug in your own Twitter account here and then have it search your account. So that's what my app is going to do. And as I mentioned before, I don't like making just straight up clever apps. I like to actually incorporate some sort of revenue in there as well. So how is this going to make money? Well, not by advertising, because I don't expect it's going to be extremely popular for very long periods of time, but rather I'm going to hook it up to something called Scalable, there it is, Scalable Press, which is an API that basically lets you print t-shirts and other merchandise on the fly. So people will be able to order t-shirts and whatever other cool, merchandise they can off the service, all integrated into the app, for their friends and whatnot. So if your friend Tommy has a cool Twitter and he's got some haiku in there, you can order him a t-shirt with his inadvertent haiku on there, and that will be the revenue model. So so that's the idea. And I will say, looks like they got some cool posters. You can definitely do one of that with some Japanese styling. And I want to play on the name Basho for the URL, because Basho, this guy here, is probably the most famous haiku artist, and so we'll play with that. Yeah, so that's the plan. And I actually made this site a number of years ago, quite a few years ago now, maybe like 5 years ago. Not with this integration with Scalable Press. It was just a search your thing for haiku. And it didn't really take off. I think the design was absolutely terrible. As I mentioned, design is not really my strong suit, making it visually appealing, that is. So this time I'm going to, I have some more experience. I'm going to put in a little bit more effort into that side of things. And maybe the world just wasn't ready for it at the time. So we'll see. And but I'm going to have to pretty much redo it because the technologies have changed. So there's still going to be a fair amount of work. I can't just relaunch it. I basically have to build it again, more or less from scratch. The key component, though, was the syllable counter, which at the time I had to build from scratch because there were no good open source ones. And I made a pretty damn good tool there, so I'm going to see if I can recycle elements of that. But other than that, I'm going to have to pretty much build it again. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the idea. I'm going to be launching that in the next couple weeks. Although I am going on a trip for about 10 days, I'm not sure if I'll have any time to work on it. But that's the plan. This is my next app. The next video will be wireframing it, and then building it, and launching it, and then a retrospective. So subscribe if you want to follow on this adventure, this app building adventure. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.